Hello everyone, my name is Lorthorn and welcome to a mod review twofer. We are reviewing two mods. One is Wireless Redstone RE and the other is PowerCraft Gates. They're both by the same fellow. Now the first one we're going to be reviewing is, of course, Wireless Redstone RE, and this mod is made by Razzokk. I think that's the way you pronounce it. Anyways, this mod is for 1.16.3 and it's a pretty cool, straightforward, simple redstone mod. And, well, let's get into it. So this mod basically lets you send redstone signals wirelessly. You have transmitters, you have receivers, you have all sorts of fun things. So the very center part of this mod that you need to do all the crafting with is the wireless circuit thingy. Here's a recipe for it here. It is incredibly expensive, so it's definitely an endgame thing if you want to use it in that terms. But you don't have to be bothered with that too much. Then there's a few recipes for other things and we'll get into what all they do. So first things first, let us look at the transmitter. So as you can see, the transmitter has this lovely little T and the receiver has this lovely little R. You'll also notice there's a 2 here and there's a 2 right here. So this means these two are on the same level. So when I hit the lever, the transmitter turns red and the receiver turns red. Now you may be wondering, what's so important about these things turning red? Well, they activate a redstone signal, but only the receiver does. If we do it to the transmitter, no signal. See? No signal. So signals come out of the receiver and this transmitter just lets the receiver know it's activated. Now we could, if we wanted to, make ourselves a cheeky little loop here that would keep the sucker going. Now if we punch off, it goes off. So you can play with those shenanigans as you will. Now the signals can be changed simply by going inside and finagling them about. And they can go up as high as you damn well please. Pardon me, pigs. Go off on your merry little way or I'll turn you into bacon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get out of here. Trying to do a mod review. Eesh. Okay, anyways, now that we got that done. So you might find it, though, a little bit irritating to try to get this signal into here. And that's where the next block comes in. This is the frequency copier. And that is made here, little nice reference. And you shift click to set it, and it's being set to frequency 1 to 9. And then you just do a click, right click, to do it normally. So shift right click to copy the signal, right click to put it down. If we go over here, we can then set these both to 1. Now, I guess we should look at how to make these things pretty straightforward as well. Redstone or redstone torches. So this one requires a little bit more sticks. And see here, it's a receiver, little R, T, transmitter. Torches for transmitter. Torches for T, T for transmitter. R for redstone, redstone for receiver. There you go. And you should remember that always. What else is there to really be said about this? Well, we got these wireless remotes, and these can also activate signals, and you set their frequency by shift right-clicking with them, or you can click with them to activate them. So, if you click, it will only activate as long as you're right-clicking, and it'll make you go all slow. So, they're just sort of activate in the moment thing, and there are definitely going to be some uses for them, as you can imagine. Now, there's probably clever ways to finagle and mess around with these things, but besides this, it's actually really simple and straightforward, and just involves, well, getting the right signals at the right time. Now, I find this a very intriguing mod, because there is the wireless signals mod. I can't remember redstone signals, however, but this one's got full big old blocks, and I reckon you can make some pretty cool little machines with them. Very simple, very straightforward, but I like it. And I like the art style. It's quite pleasant. And these things are quite nice. And the copier makes it very easy to get your signals so you can just copy everything and have a whole mess of everything being the same and to your heart's content. Now, I must say that it was a little confusing at first, telling the difference between the transmitter and the receiver. I would like there to be a little bit more distinct difference between an R and a T, but it's not entirely necessary and it can be considered a minimalistic expression of design. I still think a little bit more distinction between the two though would be nice, but besides that, I really like the mod and I like the remotes if you could like permanently activate them. Maybe you can. I might not be smart enough to do it, but I like the remotes. I like the frequency copier. I like these things. Also, the recipe actually seems pretty fair for making a tool like this in survival. And if you're doing creative mode, well, then it's quite straightforward as well, and you don't need the recipe, so you can just do it. So that's the first mod that we're going to be reviewing. And now we are going to go to the second one by the same fellow, so I'm not going to try to repeat his name again, but that mod is PowerCraft Gates for Minecraft version 1.16.2, so they're different versions, unfortunately. And this mod is way more complicated than the other one, and it is one of the more complicated mods I've come across, and its applications, well, I'm not clever enough to think of anything all that interesting, as I haven't thought of anything at all. But besides that, we're going to get into this mod. So the very core part of this mod is you'll need stone. Stone and redstone anyways. You can make a base plate. What is a base plate for? Well, if you go uses, it's for a whole wackadoodle of things, as you can see. Now, what are these things? Well, they're a bit like a redstone repeater, except they're entirely not like a redstone repeater. They're like as in they're one facing direction, you can't get turns on them. So the most basic one is this one right here. Very simple to make. And we'll just go into what they do. So this one just carries a redstone signal forwards. Oh, that's pretty simple. Okay. What's this one do? Ah, it drives them in every direction. Okay, so makes sense, makes sense. Now this here is what is called a NOT gate. So this is all about gates, logic gates, not actual gates, which threw me a bit for a runner. So a NOT gate is when you give it a signal, it turns off. And already, I really like that. There's plenty of times when I'd like that to be applicable. A very good example of that, actually. Oh, we can use it here. Is when I hit this lever, it will turn that one on and that one off. And so you can basically have different systems going, and it doesn't have to bother with all that redstone finagling, you know, torches and all that stuff. This is a wide plate NOR gate, as you can see, give it the signal and it turns off. We're just going to leave all these on here, why not? Now next, after this wide NOT gate, we have a OR gate. So OR gate can get a signal from one or the other. And again, this is just a wider OR gate over here. And from the wider OR gate, we have a NOR gate, which is, if it gets a signal into one of its things, it will cease working altogether. So, as you can see, there's also this wide NOR gate, so as long as we're giving a signal, it won't work. So, either or, it will not work. It'll send the signal until it's given one. So, again, see, they're getting signals, and they can even screw with themselves if you like. Make a weird little clock blinky system. Have fun with that. Okay, after the NOTs and buffer gate, yeah, so the buffer gates and all them gates and all that stuff, all that lovely good stuff, we've got a AND gate. So AND gate needs both signals running to it for it to work. So you have to have two signals going for AND gate to have any sort of power. And, well, again, it's just straightforward. Get this one going, and it will send another signal, so you can have like a double lock system if you like, and not have to finagle with redstone or command blocks. Next we have a nighttime sensor, works at night. Over here we have the daytime sensor. It's pretty much day, so it's giving off signals. So already these gates are pretty straightforward. Now these ones get a little weirder, so this one is has to equal 1. So it will it's a what are they called? It's a XNOR gate. So I haven't determined how to edit the number 1. I don't think it actually is edible. Anyways, so as long as it's getting one signal, it will stop working. But if we give it 2 signals, as you can see here and here, then it will start working again. And so basically, it only works if it's equally 1 is the idea. So it's a NOR gate, so that's what I mean by working. And same for this NOR gate here. Now this gate here is just XOR gate. See, this one is a XNOR gate. So XOR gate needs it to equal number 1. So if it equals 1, it's fine. But if you have 2 going, then it stops working. Pretty straightforward. Yes? Good. And of course, we just got the simpler one here. Now we have the AND NOR gate. So these ones work as long as they're not getting a signal. If they're getting a signal to every single one, then they activate. It's the reverse. I have all these NORs here. Anyhow, that's how they work. We can use the AND gate here. Okay, so this AND gate will run as long as it's getting signals to at least 2 of them. And AND gates, yeah, they just need signals to more than one AND gate, I think. Maybe? Yeah, the AND gate just needs a signal to more than one for it to work. So that's that fun. Rain sensor and thunder sensor. Okay, those are straightforward. What's this one? Well, this one detects if a chest is empty. So if we yank a dual stuff outside the chest, it'll set the signal. So you could have like a trap or something set up for that. And we just got a thunderstorm, which would have actually activated. Yeah, see, for a brief period that was a rainstorm, we activated that one. Okay, cool. So next we have if there's any stuff in here, it'll activate. So it just needs to detect if there's any space in the chest. So you put something in, it'll go off, take something out, it turns off. Then we have the full chest. So it actually gets full right around here. It's not all the blocks. You can have like one space empty and it'll count it as full. So that's the full chest. It just has to be mostly full and then it activates. And then we get into the weird ones. So this thing, when you give it a signal, will briefly activate. It'll go whoop and turn on. Which is, okay, a little strange. But it has its uses. It can send a little blink of a signal. And this one here briefly activates when you turn it off. So that's the falling edge sensor and the rising edge sensor. And those probably mean something to people who understand things, but I don't. So yeah, you see the redstone signals going, then boop, it's off. Now these here will turn on and stay on until you turn it off with its appropriate signal. So RS requires it, and that'll stay on, and then bam, you can turn it off. Now this one here will turn on if you give a signal, but it will not turn off if you give it. See, this over here, we can give it the signal, turn on, and then we can turn it off by turning this signal back on. So you can say off, 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 whereas this one stays on, then we go off. It doesn't go off. It needs for this thing to be flicked, and then it can turn off. And then it's like the opposite of the other one, see? Now the T signal requires one or the either to work, and it's just so you can signal it differently. Right, so as long as one's going, it goes on, and then you have to turn off by giving it a signal again. So signal on, signal off, see? It doesn't actually turn off, I have to give it a signal off. But if it's getting both signals, then yeah, so it sort of responds to the first one that was turned on to turn it off. Now the D one has this little funky thing here, and basically you have to turn that on, and then you can turn it on with that one, but you actually then turn it off by having the off position, then hitting off over here, and it's just a little weird. See, it's like a lock. It's a twofold key system. Now this thing is just a clock, and you can right click on it and choose whenever it ticks. So if we want to get crazy here, we could set it to 1, and that will make it go constantly. If we set it to 2, and me. So there we go. That's how we can get flashing. The other ones are going too high rate. So bam. Now we got the flashing clock we wanted. 5 ticks is the sweet one. So every 5 seconds it'll tick. I guess the other ticks just can't register even turning off when we get to 2. Okay, next we have the on delay thing. So we actually have to leave it on and then it'll turn on. But it has like a certain amount of time, so it needs a certain amount of ticks to run. So if we say 60 ticks, I don't know how many seconds that is though, but it has to be on for 60 ticks, and then it'll turn on. Now, of course, the next one's the opposite. It will stay on 20 ticks after it stops getting a signal. So that is an off delay timer. So this is on delay timer, off delay timer. So those are all straightforward. And the final freaking gate of this lovely cacophony of things is the counter. So this counter is set to 10. So whenever you flick it, it counts up. So bip, 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 bip is at 10. The other one at the minus here counts down. And at the bottom, clears it. Count up, count down, clear. And that is how that works. And that is the PowerCraft Gates. And you could probably make some pretty crazy machines with it. I do imagine that you could. Also, I believe these are actually affected by redstone. I may be wrong, as that is a case that can happen to people. But I think if we take this NOR gate right here, and we tell this thing to move, it will move the NOR gate. So you could actually basically have a system with these that could mess around. So that is another thing to keep aware of, is these things are fully affected by pistons. I'm going to attempt to make a machine that I think is quite slightly clever. I'm just going to figure it out, and then we'll see what I can do with this. Okay, well, this is the best I can do at short notice. Maybe as I thought about for a long time, I could think of something clever, or if I want to do something and then I could make it. But this is what we got here. So you activate this lever, and you take this out of the chest and it opens up the door. And it has to be daytime, so this won't work at night. And this chest has to be emptied of its loot. And this lever needs to be pulled. So all three of those conditions need to be made. And then this gate opens. Yay, I did something smart. Yes. Probably do a whole lot more of this with this than I can figure out to do. But as it stands, I am not exactly certain what to even make with it. I mean, you can basically make this thing, and that's fun. So, yay for that, I guess. We can make a really weird bouncy toy with a timer, and there's like the adding thing. I think those work. Okay, so what are my thoughts on this mod? Well, it's obviously went to someone who knows about logic gates, and it took me a wee bit to figure it out. And if you want to involve logic gates, you can get this. Actually, come to think of that, I know you can make a computer in Minecraft with mostly redstone. I mean, you can use command blocks, but this would bring it up a notch of making a computer. This would make it so the computer doesn't take nearly as much space with all these gates. So if you want to make a redstone computer in Minecraft with these logic gates, then that'd be pretty good. You could probably even make a slight video game or text-based adventure with redstone. Maybe. I don't know. But, well, that being said, I think this is a pretty cool mod. I would like to have the two mods I've reviewed together in the same version. So if you could kindly do that, Mr. Razzokk, then I would be ever so grateful, because I think that the signals plus the wackiness of these gates would go together quite well. I think they'd be a good mod together. So that's my bit of advice for you. And these are pretty nifty, and I would like to see their applications with a few tech mods and some other stuff and just messing around. And maybe one day I will find appropriate time to combine all these said mods together. Well, sorry, use this mod and the other one I reviewed, but especially this one, find some mod pack or something to use this in and make some crazy computer machine out of them once I figure out, hey, I could do that. But I think this is a cool mod. I like the art. It's very straightforward. You can basically look at the pictures and figure it out. If you know a little bit about gates of NOR or all that coding nonsense, then you can do this mod. So go ahead and check it out, download it for yourself if you want, and make some crazy redstone contraptions with these things. Well, there we go. That's my clever machine. Bam! It's the infinite headache of doom. Okay. Yes. Lovely. What a machine. What a device. We are true genius of the modding world. Okay, well then, I guess we will leave that there. So, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll get you next time in whatever else I review next or make videos next. So that was both Wireless Redstone RE for 1.16.3 and PowerCraft Gates for 1.16.2. So check them out. They are available on CurseForge, and of course there'll be links to my Discord, all that stuff. And yes, I will see you next time. Well, I won't see you, but you'll see me, sort of. You'll see me playing the game. Not even me, you'll just see my avatar. But that is besides the point. Anyways, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Yeah. Whatever. I'll just walk into the sea now.
describing